All right, welcome back to the channel. Terence Bud Crawford tried to clown Gervonta Davis, and Errol Spence Jr. did a little clowning back. Let's talk about Gervonta. Let's talk about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence and the conversation that went on Twitter, and also we'll talk a little Tank Davis, Yuriokas Gamboa while we're doing it in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Subscriber, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And also I want to say special thank you to everybody that supports the channel as a member, everybody that supports the channel through the Patreon. We got a lot of really good stuff going on in the Patreon, so definitely check that out. Also, thank you to everybody that comes by the live streams on Sunday mornings with myself, Blood Boxing, KQKC Boxing, Trap House Boxing, and Curtis Anderson, the boxing historian. Excellent shows called OG Boxing Talk. Very mature panel. Member, people in the chat. We don't take any trolling, any of that stuff. So if you come by and you're not looking for some troll action, hey man, it'll be a good conversation for you. Look, let's get on to this. Okay, Gervonta Davis beat Yuriokas Gamboa in this last fight last Saturday. Okay, there are mixed reviews for Gervonta Davis. Many people are saying that they weren't impressed. They had expected Gervonta Davis to knock out Yuriokas Gamboa. And I think that was the consensus from a lot of people that Gervonta Davis was going to walk through Yuriokas Gamboa. I had a different viewpoint on it. I thought that this was going to be a guy. This is a veteran guy in Yuriokas Gamboa. He's an Olympic gold medalist. The guy clearly knows how to box. He's lost 2 fights. One was to Terence Crawford several years ago, and another one I think was a little bit of an upset, where he got caught sleeping a little bit against a guy named Robinson Castellano, right? He then came back, got his managerial situation straight, came back, has just had a really big knockout. And so what I thought was that this was going to be a good fight for Gervonta Davis, because Yuriokas Gamboa is a higher level opponent than he has fought in his last several fights. Right now, where the mixed reviews come in, or I think that people had an expectation that Gervonta Davis was just going to run through him, and he didn't do that. Terence Crawford is somebody that put his 2 cents into it and made a statement about how Gervonta Davis needs to stay away from Lomachenko. He needs to stay away from Devin Haney, who obviously he believes would beat Tank Davis, or I think it's reasonable to assume that Terence Crawford believes he would beat him because of a funny, and he was led to believe that because of this funny, a lot of people say lackluster performance with Gervonta Davis. I don't want to get into it in this video, but I have another video coming out about that. I just think, but in short, I think that this was a different style of fighter than he had fought in the past. This is the first for a while now that this is a different type of guy. And it was a guy that was in there to survive, but he ultimately got the job done. But focusing on something that happened after Terence Crawford said that is Errol Spence Jr. said, well, somebody tweeted something that Errol Spence Jr. retweeted. Now, when you retweet it, I think it's safe to assume that you're agreeing with or poking fun that the guy had said it, but without saying it yourself, which was, you should leave Errol Spence alone, right? Now, that means, so Terence Crawford says that Gamboa should leave Lomachenko and Haney alone, and Errol Spence Jr. retweets something that says you should leave Errol Spence Jr. alone. And I thought that was very interesting for a couple different reasons. Mainly because I think that there is something very, very similar going on with Gervonta Davis and Terence Crawford as it relates to the level of their competition. The same reason that I believed that it was going to be difficult, that it was going to be a more difficult than people expect type of fight out of Yuriokas Gamboa for Gervonta Davis. That's the same thing that I believe about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, and for the same reason. Gervonta Davis had fought Jesus Cuellar. He fought Francisco Fonseca. He fought Hugo Chavez. He fought He fought Jose Pedraza. Jose Pedraza obviously is the best one of the people that he fought, right? But the last several fights that he fought were guys that really didn't have a chance to beat Gervonta Davis. And when Gervonta Davis got in there with an older pro, the older pro he caused him more problems. Now, Gervonta Davis was getting, I think he was beating up Yuriorkis Gamboa, but Yuriorkis Gamboa was then in there to survive. He was a little more crafty, and he was able to, take some of the shine off of Gervonta Davis, and Gervonta Davis wasn't just able to do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted to do it. Now, and I think that is because, again, Gervonta Davis has not fought a lot of different styles. He hasn't fought guys who were top level, who are even of that skill level. Even though Yuriorkis Gamboa is clearly older, but he still has the same boxing mind that he did when he was younger. And he was able to, play some tricks here, do some things there that allowed him to stay in the fight longer than it would have been if he was just green, or if he was just super, if he didn't have enough punching power for Gervonta Davis to respect him and have whatever he had left in the tank. But again, that's why I thought Gervonta Davis and Yuriorkis Gamboa was going to be a better fight than a lot of people thought. I think Terence Crawford is in the same boat as Gervonta Davis, but it's just been a longer amount of time. It's been at least 5 fights since Terence Crawford has fought anybody that is an upper level fighter. At least 5. And really, I don't even know if the guy in the fight, the 2 guys before that who were Juan Diaz, Felix Diaz. I always want to say Juan Diaz. Felix Diaz and Victor Postal can be included really as top level fighters on the level of a Sean Porter, or a level of a Danny Garcia, or a level of a Errol Spence Jr. or a Manny Pacquiao. I don't know that since Yuriorkis Gamboa, truly since a younger Yuriorkis Gamboa, that Terence Crawford has been in the ring with anybody that could be considered that level of fighter. So when Terence Crawford steps up and fights a guy like Sean Porter, somebody that's not going to go away, somebody that you're not just going to walk down and bully, right? If you look at the fight between Terence Crawford and last guy fought, I have a hard time remembering his name, Egis Kalvanakis. Basically, when boxing failed, he was able just to go straight to Egis Kalvanakis and just bully his way into a knockout. Because once he started pressing Egis Kalvanakis, really pressing him, Egis Kalvanakis didn't have any answers. That more than likely is not going to be the case with a guy like Sean Porter. A guy like Sean Porter, if Sean Porter's outboxing you and hitting you, if Sean Porter's hitting you with left jabs, straight rights and left hooks, if he's constantly hitting you with left hooks and you switch up and decide, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to step right to Sean Porter, Sean Porter is more than equipped to handle that, because he's already been in that against guys that have multiple types of world championship fighters. He's had that type of experience, just like Yuriorkis Gamboa has had. Love him or hate him, Yuriorkis Gamboa has been in the ring with Terence Crawford. And he went many rounds with Terence Crawford and wobbled Terence Crawford. He showed that although he didn't have the talent and the size to beat Terence Crawford, he had the mindset and the skills to be able to deal with him, and that experience didn't go anywhere. When people say stay away from Errol Spence Jr., look, man, Errol Spence Jr. is not in the same boat that Terence Crawford is in. Errol Spence Jr. has been in there against the tough, very experienced veterans at the top of the sport. He's been in there with Kell Brook. He's been in there. He's even been, Lamont Peterson is a little bit different because he was moving up in the weight and he was a little bit, woebegone. So was and Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is an experienced multi-divisional champion with a lot of tricks up his sleeve. So is Sean Porter. These guys are all people that have given Errol Spence Jr. that type of experience and different looks against different people in championship fights. Terence Crawford has not had that. And as much as people want to say I'm hating on him, you just can't show me on his resume where he's had that. Where he's had that type of, now he's an excellent fighter, but again, man, I think that if you're looking at Yuriokas, if you look at the performance of Yuriokas Gamboa and Gervonta Davis, and you say, hey, based on that performance, hey man, you should stay away from these other guys. I could say the same thing. If you look at the experiences that Terence Crawford had with Jose Benavidez and had with Igis Kalvinakis, man, that might have something to do with why these fights aren't getting made with Errol Spence Jr. and Sean Porter. Well, with Sean Porter for sure. Because Sean Porter is going to give you, Sean Porter can literally fight every style. Every style. I used to think that he was just a straight up football player who's going to run in there, grab and maul you and do all that stuff. But he's more than that. He showed with Ugas that he can fight on the outside. He showed with Errol Spence Jr. that he could fight, that he really could mix it up very well on the inside. And he's had that championship level experience. So look, man, it ain't easy money out there for Terence Crawford, man. And the person that said that about Errol Spence Jr., Errol Spence retweeting it, hey, man, more than likely Errol Spence Jr. is looking at that Igis Klimas fight and thinking, yeah, you might want to stay away from me. But anyway, you let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Period. Peace. I said period. Peace.